Hello, my tinglings. So, I thought today I would give you my review of The Lion King, the new real-life animated version. And so I did go and see this in the cinema, and I have some wonderful popcorn here. So you can see I got the little tin. I really wanted popcorn, and I saw the tin, and I thought, why not? So we got some delicious smelling popcorn. This is obviously new popcorn. So I guess I should give, I think me just eating there was probably the eating warning. But I also am going to do a spoiler warning, so I am going to be reviewing the movie, so I'll be talking about pretty much, anything that happens in the movie. And before we get into any of that, I also want to acknowledge the problematic issues with The Lion King, and that even though I've paid money and supported them in this way, and I did as a kid as well, that I am not a fan of the way that Disney handled the whole Lion King thing. If you've read into it, there was this story about a lion named Kimba, and they wanted to use it, and so they were going to try and license it, but then the people didn't want to license it, so they made up their own story, but named the lion Simba. Anyway, it's a little... Okay, I'm gonna just set this down so I can not hold it up. Anyway, so let's get to the movie. So I heard some different thoughts that people had on the movie, thinking that maybe being converted to a kind of live action feel, that you didn't get as much expression in the characters' faces, and that wasn't anything that I noticed. I really enjoyed the movie for the most part. John Oliver did the voice for Zazu, and he was great. I thought he was hilarious. That was a really good choice. The part that I think was the worst was Scar. The voice actor who played Scar had none of the majesty and derision of the original Scar. I just didn't think the voice actor was very good at all. And it would pretty much be, you'd be going along enjoying the movie, and then Scar would come on, and I would just think, nah. They also, so it seemed like their approach to this was basically to choose things that actual animals would do and look like. So, somewhat, for the most part. So they felt very constrained by that very realistic goal, trying to be realistic. And I thought they lost a little with that. The one I thought was most noticeable is, well, it's noticeable with a couple things. So in the beginning of the movie, when they're doing the circle of life, in the animated version, they have all the animals kneel down all at once, to the baby Simba. But in this one, they still kept it a bit busy and chaotic, so there was none of that unifying satisfaction of a viewer of seeing that kind of unison activity. So it made it a little bit more obvious that it's weird that not people, but that all these different animals would be going to celebrate the birth of a lion, which is going to eat a lot of them, So I thought that they just really funny because I'm a very technical person and I like things to be, so I can understand if that was what they were going for, that they probably adhered to that very technically, but I think that they went a little too far, which again, I feel funny saying that because it feels just funny for me to say, but because I think the story kind of lends itself to, just make sure my battery had died earlier. I wanted to make sure I haven't lost it again. Like the whole basis of the story is not the most realistic, but anyway. Well, everyone celebrating the king. But anyway, so I really liked the animation though. The animals looked really real, the movements I thought were great, and I was sitting back and just thinking, what a crazy world we live in, that this is something that can be done nowadays, it's just so effective, it's, for the most part, just feels like they've trained lions to do that, and so, and the other animals. So I thought they did a really good job. So the other part I really didn't like was be prepared. Which also connects to the hyenas. So they changed up what was going on with the hyenas. They didn't have Ed or anything like that. They had these two hyenas which were kind of just annoying each other. And I just didn't think it was as good as the original. And I thought they replaced it, and I wasn't really sure why, because I thought the original was great. And the same thing with Be Prepared. They changed the song, and I didn't see any reason for it, so I thought that was pretty weak. But Timon and Pumbaa, I thought they were good. I thought it was funny to have Pumbaa being a real warthog, and that's maybe not the most attractive animal, but I thought it was great. And then the little baby warthog was so cute. I loved the baby warthog, and then he's just farting in the water, and they actually said the word farted, so you can see how much we've progressed in 25 years. regressed, if that's your opinion. So I like them. And then they had there was a cute little, I think, lemur as well. The lemur was so cute. So I love that. It made me think that they need to make like a Lion King like movie for Australian animals, because Australian animals are so cute and people don't know about them, and so people aren't trying to save them. Like the greater glider is so cute. It is the cutest thing. And they're doing scientific experiments where they're seeing if they can log forests a certain amount and them still survive. So we have a threatened species and we're logging their homes. Anyway. So, we need more awareness about the greater luck glider because they're so cute and they're so amazing. So cute. Anyway. I got lost in the lemur. So the next part that I thought they tried to be a little too cute with was Mufasa coming back in the clouds. You couldn't tell there was Mufasa at all in the clouds until there was a little bit of lightning going through. And then you could only barely make it out. I didn't like that at all. I thought they should make it look like Mufasa. But I didn't. But as I said, I really enjoyed watching it. I'm telling you all the parts that I kind of didn't like, but everywhere in between, the songs were good. Oh, that was what I was going to say. So when they did I Just Can't Wait to Be King, when they did it as kind of, they're going down to the water hole and they lose Zazu in the water hole, as opposed to everything kind of building up the way it does in the original movie. So I didn't think that was as good. I thought it would have been better to as I said, depart a little bit from reality and have things move in formation and dance all together and that sort of thing. But I understand what they were doing. And then my most interesting insight came at the end. I realized I'm definitely becoming an ecologist, because we were watching the end and, the lions have taken over, so the hyenas are supposedly over hunting. But then the land looks all desolate, as if it's been in a drought. But that's not what overhunting causes. So if top-level predators eat too much, if you are running out of herbivores, you're going to get overgrowth. So it's going to be desolate for lions because there's not going to be as much prey for them. But you're going to get more growth because the herbivores aren't eating as much green. So it makes no sense that the hyenas and everything eating too much would make it look desolate. Anyway, and obviously I'd never put that together, so I thought that was an interesting little insight. the other thing that was interesting to me was, so when Simba and Nala are young, and when they run away to go to the elephant graveyard, and, Mufasa talks about how, Mufasa talks about how, oh, I was scared today. I could feel that fear for, Simba and Nala. Like, you don't have that confidence that, oh, somebody's just gonna come save them. You're just like, oh, this is a really dangerous situation, and these hyenas get at you, you're dead, It's very, very confronting. So it was really interesting to see kind of how my perspective has changed being older. So, that's pretty much my thoughts. What do we talk about? Popcorn in my hair. How long have I had that there? Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. See if I whisper sing, then I won't get picked up by the content ID system. Which is why I whispered the Harry Potter theme. Dropping popcorn everywhere. Anyway, I've just been eating here, so hopefully the eaters are still around, because I'm just eating popcorn. That's pretty much my review.